Gentlemen and female gentlemen, I welcome everyone here today to come to the same conclusion, please. False allegations ruin lives. As someone that had false allegations made towards me by many people on the internet just trying to be cheeky and fun, my life is not ruined because I actually have a pretty private life, and honestly I have a pretty great life, realistically speaking, so I'm not a great example of life being ruined by this type of thing, but it's pretty bad. Like we saw with the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp situation, none of that is awesome. We all hate that. False allegations, they suck. Now, I will be real, I don't know much about the Blake Lively situation. I do know that Blake Lively has there's this smear campaign going around, but I didn't really get into it. But today, we are. Brett Cooper is stepping into the fray. Right-wing shoe-on head over here. Femme Shapiro, they like to call her sometimes. She is stepping into the ring, ready to cook, and I am hungry. So give me some chaos. Give me some celebrity downfalls. We love downfalls. Subscribe for more downfalls. We will cover all the downfalls and make a tier list out of your downfalls. Your downfalls will pay my rent. If you like downfalls by especially incredibly posh, dumb as much as I do, definitely subscribe. All right, Brett, take it away. And I have a lot to say about this whole industry as someone that's literally been by the industry.
It has become nearly impossible for one narrative to reign supreme through mainstream and legacy media alone.
Oh, wow, mainstream media? Oh, that's a slur. Can we consider mainstream media a slur? That's the M word, okay? I don't want to hear any of this.
Corporations
Despicable.
no longer own our voices. They no longer own truth.
Whoa! Shots fired!
Alone.
Listen to this.
Corporations no longer own our voices. They no longer own truth.
Corporations no longer own our voices. She put this in the trailer after literally just leaving a giant corporation that literally owned her voice. Bro! The shots fired! The shade! I love the chaos. I love the chaos. What can I say? Chaos is good. For those of you that aren't familiar with the lore, Daily Wire, huge right-wing corporation. They owned her voice. They owned her her personality on their channel. She ended up leaving. They replaced her with a skinwalker. It was pretty cool. We all love that. Cret Booper is now running that other channel. And Brett Cooper has made her own channel. And then she drops this in the intro of the video. On the intro of the video! God damn. Isn't Blake Lively Ryan Reynolds' wife or something? Yeah, something like that. There's a lot of crazy drama. I wonder if she mentions that apparently in the new Deadpool versus Wolverine movie, there was this one character, Nicepool, which is basically much more Canadian Deadpool. A Deadpool so Canadian, they would even cave to Trump's tariffs instantly. Faster than Trudeau caves. That would be crazy. So, Nicepool apparently is a reference to the person that is accusing and smearing Blake Lively and stuff. Again, I don't know. This is a massive rabbit hole, and I'm all here for it.
Or our information or our evidence. Welcome back to episode 2 of The Brett Cooper Show. I am so excited about this episode. Seriously?
Brett Cooper, listen, I know that you're probably watching this video. As we are besties, it's just a fact. And whatever, just saying. Don't title them episode 2. Why? Just title it Brett quickly ended her own career. Great title there, by the way. I totally don't know where you were inspired to title your video this way. I totally don't know what channel inspired you to title videos in that regard. I wonder if perhaps I know. I mean, I'm not trying to roast here. I'm not trying to roast. I'm not saying that, obviously, I didn't, this is not my formula. This is not my formula. But, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm not saying anything. Don't title them with episode numbers, come on.
For the last 6 weeks, I have been watching this unfold. I have been tearing out my hair, wanting to talk about the story.
I wonder why she couldn't talk about this earlier.
I have had you people DMing me, messaging me, tagging me in things, being like, Brett, just like go live and talk about this. But I know that it is a big enough story, so I wanted to do it in a proper format.
Dude, and I'm so happy that she has the ability to make content now where she can basically cover a topic the way she wants to. It doesn't need to be like a quick, instant, 15-minute video immediately as something happens, and she can actually make like this nice long 45-minute chunky video going through all the details. It's so nice to see like she can spread her wings in that regard. But enough about wing spreading and wholesomeness, and I wish her nothing but success. Definitely check her out, subscribe to her channel, I will link her in the description. Enough of wholesomeness. Much more important, celebrity downfalls and my rent.
And make this one of the first episodes. But obviously, we must talk about part 2 and now part 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni scandal. But before we dive into this story, you guys know the drill.
This video is like and subscribe and sponsor.
If you are subscribed to this new channel, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and of course, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on every single new episode of The Red Cooper Show. And if you are interested in ad-free episodes and exclusive content, check out the link in the description below for my new subscriber-only platform, Cooper Confidential.
Hell yeah. Cook! Cook! Get that bread, goddammit! Free yourself from the shackles of oppressive overlords.
Go check that out. There's lots of information in the description and on the website. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, let's get into it.
Dude, it's so nice to see. It's so nice to see people break free of like an oppressive company forcing you into silence or whatever. I'll be real here. That's the last of the wholesomeness. You don't subscribe to me for wholesomeness. You subscribe for chaos. I will not tarnish this day with being wholesome, okay?
So to start off, I just want
to see celebrities inserting sharp objects up their rectum.
Do a recap in case you are not caught up on this
I am not caught up.
Drama, or we need to have our memories jogged. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni did a movie together, and it is called It Ends With Us. It is based off of a book by Colleen Hoover, which is a kind of a controversial author. Some people say that it's a stretch to even call her an author.
I mean, she wrote a book. Why is it controversial to call her an author? This is like saying J.K. Rowling is controversial.
You have read...
Like, dude, god damn it, who cares? Who cares?
Some of her books, but whatever. You can have your own opinions on that, but the book is called It Ends With Us. And Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively play the leads, but Justin Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, produced the film. He directed it, he starred in it, and then Blake Lively came in as the star and then kind of took over production on the film, at least.
Ooh, a nice old business drama. Ooh, I love those.
That is what we saw back at the end of this summer as everything was starting. So the reason why we I
mean, this is how Trump is going to win the presidential election every 4 years. I'm telling you, my idea for cryo Trump is not... It's not slowing down. In fact, it's picking up steam. I'm just saying, we freeze Trump in cryostasis to wake him up every 4 years to win the presidency again. You put him away, you let his head, and he'll come up with some idea, he'll tariff more people. You fucking freeze him again 4 years later. Cryo Trump, he'll be back. He'll be bigger and oranger than ever before. He'll be so frozen, he'll always with Trump 2032, 2036, 2097. Never-ending Trump, endless Trump.
Kind of understood that things were not as they seemed, that there was trouble in paradise, is that Blake Lively and the cast of It Ends With Us all mass unfollowed Justin Baldoni.
Ooh! There is no way she throws this much shade in this episode. I am shocked. So, for those of you not aware of the full Brett Cooper drama, after she left the Daily Wire, allegedly on good terms, she then unfollowed everyone at the Daily Wire, including her ex-best friend and ex-maid of honor at her wedding. Bro, she knows a thing or two about throwing shade. This is crazy. Like, dude, glorious levels of petty.
As the film was about to premiere. And it was very suspect because Justin Baldoni was the one who first got the option for this book. He had been driving the production literally for years before they even started filming. He was very, very close to the project, and he was nowhere to be found on the press tour. He was...
That is weird. What the fuck?
The male lead was the love interest of Blake Lively and was in no interviews, was not walking the red carpet, and he was super confused. But they thought that maybe there was a reason for it because this film is about domestic violence, and so they thought, okay, well, maybe they're trying to separate these characters and they want us to already get into the mindset of this being an abusive relationship.
Okay. So that's interesting. That's interesting. So, but again, that's just that's a theory, a game theory. We don't know about that.
Of them being at odds. So people thought, okay, maybe that's the reason why. But then it just kept going. And nobody acknowledged it, and it got weirder because they noticed that she had unfollowed him. And then we started to see a stark contrast with how Justin was promoting the film independently, because he wasn't included in anything else, with how Blake Lively and the rest of cast was promoting the movie. And Blake Lively was doing all of these big, colorful, floral events. She was also simultaneously promoting her new hair care line. She was making this like a chick flick, rom-com, cutesy movie. She was telling everybody.
What the fuck? Isn't this movie about like an abusive relationship? And she's making it like this cutesy rom-com shit? Dude, I'm telling you, the cinema people, like the Hollywood people, are fucking crazy. They're all insane. Like they're living in a different reality. When they give you a speech about how Trump is murdering trans people in the street or whatever, you just know how disconnected from reality they are. She is promoting a domestic violence movie as a rom-com. As a rom-com. Oh my god, they're so disconnected from reality. Oh, but these are the woke people that hire blind air traffic controllers to work at the FAA.
Everybody like, wear your florals to go see the movie because her character owns a flower shop. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni took every single interview to talk about domestic violence and to talk about protecting women.
That's fucked up, bro. Oh no, a male feminist, run! Run away! Last time I met a male feminist, they were Destiny. Yikes.
And the importance of telling these types of stories with, very, sincere care. And so then people started to wonder,
all right,
okay, well, what if they got into a big argument about how the film was going to be released? And Justin did not want to be part of this floral, happy, fun, girly chick flick, and Blake Lively, got everybody to turn against him. So we all thought, okay, maybe it's just in post-production. Oh no, guys, it goes so much deeper.
This is crazy. Like, if this would have actually been planned, it would have been one of the coolest marketing strategies of all time. But instead, they actually didn't plan it, and it torpedoed everything. This is good.
Then, a couple weeks after all of that, I really am giving you the full recap.
Yeah, this is
a couple
good.
weeks after that, we started to see some leaks. And it seemed like Blake Lively's camp had dropped some allegations that Blake Lively had not been very kind to her.
Brett meant to say Justin Baldoni. You're not. Yeah. Bro, that's crazy. She dropped allegations on him. Ooh, are we getting Johnny Depp trial too? Because I will farm that shit for content.
On the set of It Ends With Us, and that he had fat shamed her.
You're joking. You're kidding me. You're joking. You're joking. You're kidding. You're joking. She's fucking accusing him. She's alleging that he has been abusive because he fat shamed her. All right, dude.
Because he asked about her weight. But the thing is,
he didn't even fat shame her. He just asked her. Oh my god. Classic male feminists. 1 minute they're talking about how abuse is bad, and then they're asking women about their weight.
Justin Baldoni has a very severe back injury, and there was a scene where he had to lift her up. So he had asked her how much she weighed.
You've got to be... Dude, every sentence, this gets worse. Every single sentence, this gets worse. So he had to pick her up in a scene, but he had back issues, so he asked her how much she weighed. And she comes out with these massive allegations against him for being abusive to women. You've got to be kidding me. Like, what kind of insane woke brain rot is falling into these people's faces? God, we're really getting Johnny Depp too. This is crazy.
So that he could then go to his trainer and make sure that he could safely and properly lift her, since
he didn't even ask her so she loses weight. He asked her so he could train properly. Oh, I love chaos. And then the media's like, oh no, oh poor Blake Lively. He invaded her safe zone.
He could barely do anything with his back. So we learned that was a bunch of hocus pocus and was just ridiculous. And then,
yeah, she says hocus pocus, but she means absolute bullshit.
Then people started seeing Blake Lively's attitude in interviews. And not only was she being flippant about the story and talking about florals and silly things and promoting her hair care and being like, oh my God, look at my hair. It's so amazing. Whatever. Look what I'm wearing. but they started just to see that she was not kind to interviewers.
Oh shit. Oh shit. The bitch reveal? This is crazy. This is crazy. She was pretty ableist going after Justin Baldoni like that when he clearly had brag problems. I mean, honestly, she might as well just drop the word retard.
Like, she was very...
Dude, Ryan Reynolds got a crazy one.
Cold. She was very sarcastic. One of the interviewers asked her if a audience member, if a viewer is very impacted by this story, has a personal experience, like, should they come up to you and talk to you? Like, how should they approach that? Because this is a very, you know, personal story that's going to impact a lot of people.
It's about domestic violence, flower girl.
And Blake Lively took that question, and we can roll the clip, but she basically was like, don't talk to me. Like, what do you want me to do? Give you my number? Like,
This is unbelievable. God made a second Amber Heard just for me to get content. Thank you, God, for this moment. Thank you for creating retards. I know people ask, why, God, do you create retards of so many shapes and sizes? But to this I say, God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for creating retards.
whatever.
Asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you and then we could
And just...
Wait, this is the response to a question. Hey, you're making a video. You're making a movie about domestic abuse. There are some people. There are some people that are going to be emotional. What should they do? And her response is, oh, should I give my location? Should I give them my location? Should I give them my phone number?
Blew off this very serious and understandable question considering the subject matter of the film. And then it just kept going. People kept bringing up old interviews of her, like from Gossip Girl days, when she would speak over Leighton Meester and make fun of her. They brought up another interview, which went mega viral, where a interviewer brought up that Blake Lively had recently announced that she was pregnant. And she was like, oh my goodness, your cute little bump. And Blake Lively immediately snapped and went, oh, look at your little bump. And the one
Bro, you are a walking bag of offense. Stop getting offended by these people. Stop doing this. Well, she should drop allegations against him, sue him for abusing her. This is crazy. She played a part in Gossip Girl and it never changed. She still thinks she's in Gossip Girl. Hey, look at your little bump.
woman was not pregnant. She had actually, I believe, had just suffered a miscarriage or had just realized that she could not have children in the future.
Okay, that's pretty fucked up. Oh, fuck. Editor, cut out all of my raucous laughter.
That just blew up. So basically...
Actually, editor, never mind. I don't mind laughing at it. It's okay. It's okay. What are they going to do? Cancel me? What was she going to do? Sue me for abusing her? I mean, think of the content if she does.
We knew that there was tension. Things did not seem right. This premiere did not go how people expected. And as it snowballed, people just turned against Blake Lively, and their impression of her and impression of her relationship with Ryan Reynolds was completely shattered. She went from being this sparkly, happy personality who is best friends with Taylor Swift and has this perfect, ideal relationship with Hollywood hunk Ryan Reynolds, and they have the cutest kids, to actually, she might be a diva and an egomaniac, and somehow...
My opinion is, they're all divas and egomaniacs. Stop having parasocial relationship with these actors and actresses. You literally don't know them. You don't know a thing about them. You're watching their curated lifestyle that is designed to make you jealous. These people are all evil. They're all in Diddy parties. Stop it, guys. Stop thinking you know these people because you saw them act one time in a cool movie that one time maybe. Stop. They do not live glamorous lifestyles. They're suffering out there. You know how many of these people die of overdoses and shit? That doesn't happen to super happy, loving people in glorious lives. I really hate the mask that all these people wear. See, I don't do that shit. I try so hard at least not to. It's all propaganda. The news, CNN, Fox News, whatever, all that shit, that's propaganda on a political level. Celebrity culture is propaganda on a whole other level where they're trying to get normies to look at them and think, oh my god, they have the best life ever, they're the goats. Break out of that mindset. These people are all fake. They all have excruciating lives that they just don't want to show you.
It has just been hidden from us for years. The movie came out, and by all metrics, it was a success. They made lots of money, so she should have been happy.
I mean, Disney was probably not happy. They didn't make a lot of money on any movies recently, so that's crazy.
But she could not get over the fact that her reputation had been destroyed. Now, in my opinion, I think people would have moved on. Because, listen, people
These are actresses and actors. No one gives a shit, really. People just want good movies. The reason why they're famous is because they made good movies. They only want them for their good movies.
Have the attention span of a pea. They move on to a new
True.
controversy within 24 hours. I think that
Bro, dude, they're gonna be like, but Blake Lively was rude in one interview, and then Trump is gonna walk out there and be like, you know, the Democrats, they're retards. They're all retards. They're crazy. They have brainworms. It's insane. And then all of a sudden, the entire media cycle shifts. No one's talking about Blake Lively anymore. She literally had to wait 5 minutes for Trump to do something crazy. That would have been it.
she could have come back maybe after a year, made some amends, tried to be better in interviews, just try to move forward and not address it.
Yeah, look at Rachel Ziegler doubling down and tripling down. It's crazy.
And she probably would have been fine, especially
To quote my favorite actress, weird.
because she is married to Ryan Reynolds, who literally everybody adores.
True.
But she did not do that. She could not stand that people did not like her and that they had uncovered the alleged truth about her personality. So,
Welcome to Ego Land, ladies and gentlemen. That's every single person in this goddamn industry. I'm scared they don't like me. I'm gonna now torpedo my career worse to try to prove to people that I am in fact better. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna virtue signal so hard. I'm gonna woke all the way to the sun, and I'll be fine. Unlike Icarus, I will not burn up. All these fucking jmorkles and losers. Can we make humility great again? Listen, I'm not trying to convince a single person in my audience that I'm a good guy, okay? I make content, it's entertaining, I am a good guy, and I don't need to prove it to any of you. The only people that I actually need to prove that I'm a good guy to are the people in my real life that matter to me. You guys, no offense, I appreciate you greatly. I hope to continue entertaining you. Cryo Trump will be insane. Every 4 years, he's gonna keep coming back. But bruh, I'm just a guy.
she spent the last 4 months curating a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni to take him down. And
Fucking loser move. Doesn't this come across as just like incredibly petty? Like, it's so unbelievably, unbearably petty. It's like, I almost ruined his life with false allegations before, so I'm gonna double down! Yeah!
that is what was dropped on Christmas Eve while I was sitting here with no show, and I was like, please let me talk about this.
Bro.
On Christmas Eve while I was sitting here with no show, and I
Pay no attention, pay no attention.
like, please let me talk about this, if that is what we're doing today. So in this first lawsuit, in this complaint that she released on Christmas Eve, she wanted to clear her name. So she filed this lawsuit.
She filed a lawsuit on Christmas? Dude, this is like actual Grinch behavior. This is Grinch behavior. Find addition to my collection, yes. Bro, stop.
Against Justin Baldoni and against his PR team. And she alleges
She's suing his PR team. Oh my god.
that there was a hostile work environment, that he had
Sexual harassment.
actually harassed her.
Okay, so why didn't she mention this in her first lawsuit? Or not lawsuit, but first allegation. She originally had allegations that he sexually harassed her. And she completely folded like a Canadian. Bro, this is crazy.
And that when she had asked him to stop and brought these complaints to the public, meaning on set.
That's insane. Damn, she's gonna need a lot of Jewish lawyers to succeed on this one. It's not gonna work. But Justin, listen up, Justin. Listen up. Feel free to reach out anytime. I will connect you with my 4,000 Jewish lawyer cousins, and they will protect you.
He had retaliated by organizing a PR war against her to destroy her image.
That's crazy.
During the premiere and all of the promotion.
Wait, she's claiming that he secretly, under the radar, tarnished her reputation. How can you tarnish someone's reputation behind the scenes? How do you even do that? Like, how do you even do that? Look, if I'm trying to tarnish someone's reputation, it's by me speaking. Like,
of It Ends With Us. Now, she took this directly to the New York Times. She had a journalist release text messages and lay out this entire thing. The article was called, "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine."
this is unbelievable.
Private message.
Dude, she's actually suing. So is she suing for sexual harassment or defamation or both? Like, it's almost like she's throwing shit at the wall and trying to get it to stick.
Messages detail an alleged campaign to tarnish Blake Lively after she accused Justin Baldoni of misconduct on the set of It Ends With Us. And in this lawsuit, she claims that he fat-shamed her, which we had heard about, 6 months ago, that he
Fat-shamed her? Holy shit. I fat-shame people all the time. Now, I personally view fat-shaming as a process that makes people healthier. I personally think so. Because if I humiliate a fat guy into losing weight, then I might have saved his life. Fat shaming is medical science.
busted into her trailer repeatedly while she was breastfeeding when she did not want that. She alleges that he was constantly sexual and made her and other women listen to him talking about his former porn addiction. She says that he tried to force sex.
Okay, that is cringe. But unless he's like actually tying them to chairs, forcing them to listen, I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's actually like abuse.
Scenes into the project that she was not comfortable with, allegedly made women on set watch videos of his naked wife giving birth, which
what the fuck? He's like, hey, you want to see a video of my naked wife giving birth? And they're like, did you just rape me?
Was pornographic, as Blake and her team.
Listen, as a Jew, I have 4,000 Jewish doctors in the family. Women giving birth is not pornographic. That shit nasty.
Put it, she alleged that he did not want to hire an intimacy coordinator, and so it was very uncomfortable on set. She also alleges that there was a whole team meeting to—
Dude, these allegations, every single one of them is like a D-tier allegation so far. Like, on my great giant tier list of like allegations to destroy people and shit like that, these are D-tier allegations. It's like, he showed a woman giving birth to somebody? Okay.
Address all of these concerns, and that they actually laid them all out in a document, which they did put in a New York Times article.
This is crazy. This is insane. This is a smear campaign. At least based on what I'm seeing so far. The smear campaign is the other way around.
Saying, hey, here are all of our concerns, this is what you're doing, busting into my trailer. So that they talked to Justin about all of that, that he agreed.
Okay, busting into her trailer is pretty fucking crazy. But again, it's an allegation, and likely not the full story.
To change the work environment, but that it just continued, and that is why he retaliated with this coordinated PR smear campaign.
Now, I want to make this clear also, just because while I do think Blake Lively is falsely making allegations and trying to ruin some guy's life because she's pissed at him, that doesn't mean that that guy is a good guy. See, I firmly believe that anyone that's in that level of elite, that tier of elite in Hollywood, bruh, dog, bro, god, dog, bro, I don't want to know what you were doing at the Diddy parties. I don't want to know who you were sleeping with. I don't want to know what you were doing with the baby oil. All right, listen, I'm just saying. Once you get to that level of elite, I'm just saying, bruh, stay away from me with your moral high horse.
AKA what happened after the premiere of It Ends With Us. Now, these allegations were certainly damning. Like, I read them and I was like, ooh, that is...
Are they? They're allegations. They don't even have proof. Not a single one of those actually had proof. Yes, it's cringe and annoying and awkward and evil, whatever. But it's also not sexual harassment, at least based on what I've heard so far. And also, not with any proof.
Obviously not a good look, but also, it's not out of the ordinary for Hollywood. Like, anyone...
I mean, do you know how many sex scenes are in movies in Hollywood? Saying that he added sex scenes to the movie is like, yeah, and?
Who has worked in media or entertainment or Hollywood has probably had experiences kind of like that, has probably had their boundaries crossed, has probably been talked to inappropriately by someone and made uncomfortable. But what stood out to me the most about this...
Maybe I'm cringe, but I think making someone uncomfortable and sexual harassment are not the same thing. I think sexual harassment is a real ass thing, and it's a horrible thing. But being like, hey, you want to see a video of my wife giving birth? I don't know if that's sexual harassment, unless he forced her to watch it when she refused to. But again, I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see the context, and I think that the full story probably isn't that. This is just allegations.
And really kind of made my head tilt is that in the chance that all of this was right, that she was true about all these allegations with Justin, it seemed extra sinister if you have followed Justin's career at all, because this man is an ally. He is a feminist. He has a super...
Male feminists, ladies and gentlemen, crossing boundaries since 1996. It just gets better and better for me.
famous TED Talk.
He did a TED Talk on feminism. Bro, they do not create them like this for anyone but me. Thank you, God, for creating the male feminist for my content. God, I take this moment to grace you and appreciate you. Thank you so much.
That talks about like dismantling masculinity and trying to be a better man. He literally has an...
I'm trying to be a better man, so I'm showing videos of my wife giving birth to random women against their will. My goat! My goat!
Entire podcast that talks about gender roles and feminism.
No! He has a podcast about gender roles. No! Holy virtue signal, Batman.
He has a man bun. That is his entire brand, is being this non-toxically masculine
That's crazy, bro. No.
feminist ally. Like, just listen to the description of his podcast. The podcast is called Man Enough, and it explores what it means to be a man today and how rigid gender roles have affected all people.
All right, nice.
The show creates a safe environment for a range of perspectives to meet and stay at the table,
Nice.
exploring how the messages of masculinity show up in relationships, body image, privilege, fatherhood, sex, success, mental health, and so much more. Instead of polarizing and demonizing men and masculinity, it invites all humans to participate and thrive in the world.
This sounds like the worst podcast I've ever heard. This is like a list of reasons not to watch the podcast. Oh my God. All of those things that he's doing in his podcast, and he's out there showing fucking sex videos talking about his porn addiction to women. Oh my God, that's crazy. Dude, it's unbelievable. It's like, how do you have a disagreement between two people that are this unlikable? How could both sides of a certain drama both be so wildly cringe? And to this I say, this is why you're subscribed to Nuxanor, where no one necessarily is correct except for me. I am the one who wins here. Everyone loses except me. I love chaos. It's great. We love that shit. That's fantastic. He's a white dude for Harris. Oh, let's go. He's even a white dude for Harris. It keeps getting better. I love that this guy was the inspiration for Nicepool in Deadpool versus Wolverine. Like, it's so good.
So you guys kind of get the tone. This is the kind of person that we're dealing with.
Yeah, all right. I've heard enough. Dungeon, 100 years. 100 years, dungeon, no lawyers. Justin Baldoni, if you're still watching this video, I retract my offer. My 4,000 Jewish lawyer cousins will not be contacting you.
Why I'm bringing this up is because, unfortunately, so many people, specifically men, who present themselves as these, feminist allies.
I love feminist allies. Especially downfall. Downfalls are very good.
Being so pro-woman and having this, holier-than-thou attitude.
I am also pro-woman. You see, I treat women exactly the way I would treat men. I would drop kick both of them if they're being annoying.
About the world are actually just creeps, and they are using those attitudes to cover up their bad behaviors. And Blake's team in the New York Times positioned Justin Baldoni just like that. And I'll admit, it got me. I was like, ooh, that is not good if these are correct. Again, because of how he has presented his entire brand for the last, 10 plus years. And for a moment, over those couple of days on Christmas.
This is crazy. So on Christmas, she makes all these allegations against him. Each allegation individual isn't necessarily like evil, right? Each allegation specifically is definitely cringe, but I don't know if it's sexual harassment. That obviously depends on what the actual truth is. But then it turns out this is the guy you're talking about. Like, the guy that was, oh my fuck.
Christmas, I'm sure that Blake felt like everything was right in the world because people were on her side. They were like,
oh, get the fuck out of here. I hate the internet sometimes. You just make an allegation with no evidence against somebody and it ruins their life. Like, but you know who fosters that kind of shit? Justin Baldoni. How many times do you think on his podcast he mentioned believe all victims? How many times do you think he said that on his podcast? I'm just saying.
oh, this does not look great. Apparently we screwed with the wrong person. We fell for this coordinated PR campaign. I am sure she felt like she was on top of the world. But that was because they had only seen her side of the story. It was like,
well, what did I tell you? It's the first thing you always hear. Every single time you have something like that. Every single time you have a situation with allegations and you jump to one side, you are a brain worm. You are corrupt. Wait for both sides of the story, goddammit. And they'll probably tell you how both sides are cringe, which is what I generally hope for. I am very into rooting for a very specific subset of people. You see, my content is very required on one of the oldest themes of YouTube. Shout out to probably the greatest video on all of YouTube. May the video remain eternal. This video forever summarized basically 90% of the situations that I find myself in. Shout out to these kids who put together one of the most unbelievable masterpieces in YouTube history.
Like they were checking the news without checking ground news first. Guys, my partners over at Ground News understand the problem with legacy media and the fact that they are often bought and paid for, that they always stay informed, media bias, and hold the media accountable for only $5 a month. And yes, I know.
Yeah, I love this idea of hold the media accountable. I think the best way to hold the media accountable is to keep shitting on the media. We must keep shitting on the media as much as possible. The more shit on the media, the safer the world is. I view my shitting on media as activism. They say, Nux, are you an activist? I say, yes, I am. God damn it, I shit on the media whenever I can. I need to promote Cryo Trump. I am activisting my way towards Cryo Trump actually becoming a thing.
You are all thinking, I agree, Ground News is probably Blake Lively's biggest nightmare. Those feelings of ecstasy, I'm sure, only lasted a few days because just a week later, I believe it was December 31st, the day before New Year's, Justin filed a lawsuit against her team and also filed a suit against the New York Times for defaming him and deceivingly editing the text that they included in their original article.
Oh, New York Times, you fucking pieces of shit. You unbelievable, unbearable, lio fucking shite balls. See, this is activism, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Activism. Shitting on the media. So, not only were the allegations likely largely false, but the New York Times changed them? That's crazy.
Text between him and his PR team saying that they were trying to bury or destroy her. And guys, that lawsuit broke the entire thing open. And from there, it just snowballed. And more was coming out. Like, just
another fine addition to my collection.
Baldoni's lawyer immediately hopped on a press tour. He went on Megyn Kelly's show and basically said, we have all the evidence. We are going to destroy you, Blake Lively.
Oh, God.
Because all of this is false. Just listen to what he said.
Dude, why do these people think they can get away with this shit? Think just because he's a male feminist, you think he's gonna just take an L for a woman? Male feminism is a ploy. It is not actually an ideology. That's my game theory.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion.
Sounds like a Jewish lawyer.
Megan, wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be
a lawsuit based on evidence? I've never heard of something like that. I've never heard of something like that. And then he instantly rebrands his podcast to the False Allegation Podcast.
just a lawsuit. Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also.
And just so you know, spoiler alert, they were all sued. It all came out. It was literally insane. And I love the fact that in that
oh no, a public meltdown that'll give me endless content. That sounds horrible for everyone.
Video keeps going, it will be based on evidence. It will be based on truth. Because what they are alleging is that Blake Lively's team in the New York Times tampered with evidence to paint the story in a certain light in Blake Lively's benefit. And so over the next couple of days, through this lawsuit against the New York Times, they released even more text messages, the unedited version of the text messages. They released audio recordings of Justin Baldoni talking to his family, talking to his team, saying that on the night of the It Ends With Us premiere, he was put in the basement. And again, this is the movie that he optioned, that he had.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And the wildest thing is, I feel like the reason why this entire, like, Blake Lively going after him was just because the public was upset at her. And she felt like she could just usher the public to hate him instead. It's like, why hate me if I'll hate that guy instead? Don't worry. You see Jesus on the cross over there? Like, that's the guy you need to go for right now. I put him there. Like, dude, that's what's going on here. This is crazy.
He'd been working on, I think it was for 6+ years, that he had poured his heart and soul into. The director and the producer of this film, they did not even want him to attend the premiere, but said, okay, sure, I guess you can, but you have to wait in the basement. And we have photos of that.
It's easy. Next time someone gets you in trouble, all you gotta do is victim yourself out of that situation. All you simply gotta do is make yourself a bigger victim than the allegations against you. That's the strategy. It's victim economics. It's easy. Did someone call you cringe? Call someone else a sexual abuser. Did someone call you a sexual abuser? Well, call someone else a sex trafficker. It's easy. Victim economics. Look into it.
Of his friends and his family, all in the basement, sitting on cases of water, while Blake...
They put him in the basement sitting on cases of water, and they had the balls to claim that he did something at this time where he has such a good alibi. Let's go.
Blake Lively goes up gallivanting around in her sequin floral dress, talking about her Blake Lively Target exclusive hair care line. That is what was happening while he was in the basement. And very quickly, the internet started to turn around. As quickly as they got on Blake's...
Dude, the internet is so fucking fickle. Like, those pieces of shit, they'll come at you for everything. And as I know, I've been canceled for literally everything you could think of at this point, probably. Okay, probably not. But for a lot of those things, all of them false. The allegations are fake. Russia never paid me to traffic those victims. It wasn't me. I'm an innocent man. Cryo Trump.
Side, they left the Blake train. And then, this was one of my favorite parts, people on TikTok started coming out with first-hand accounts. These are PAs from the set. These are extras who watched all of this go down, who saw the tension, who saw Blake Lively and Justin screaming at each other, who saw Blake take over in the middle of scenes and direct.
Wow.
They saw her ignore the extras. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni was coming up and talking to the extras saying, hey,
the ultimate bitch expose. That's crazy.
So sorry that you had to see that. I know that this scene is tough.
Nux, I don't think you were canceled for promoting shampoo while talking about domestic violence. You know what, chat? You got me. I haven't been canceled for everything, okay? But these are like variations on a theme. I mean tweets with hundreds of thousands of likes canceling me for literally reacting to Jaden animations, okay? You do not understand the insanity. Anyway, another fine addition to my collection.
Asking them about their experiences, drastically different. And then, guys, where it really started to get juicy for me and I really got excited and this just went even deeper, is when people started to connect the dots about Nicepool. Because another thing that's...
Nicepool! This is my favorite part of the entire drama. This is literally the only thing I know. I love chaos. I love chaos. Subscribe for all the chaos. Yes! I was waiting for this. I'm about to have a poolgasm.
Social media users noticed during the whole press tour and premiere of It Ends With Us was the fact that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were randomly in all of these interviews and on all of the press stops. And obviously Blake Lively is married to Ryan Reynolds, so it would make sense that her husband is there. But why is Hugh Jackman there? Well, because around the same time that It Ends With Us is coming out, Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out, which obviously is Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. And I think that maybe Blake was trying to orchestrate some kind of Oppenheimer Barbie weekend where these movies converge, but obviously that did not.
How the fuck are you gonna do that? It's about domestic abuse, this movie. Like, everyone's insane. Everyone cares about mental health and cares about women and cares about these topics that are very, like, traumatic. Like, everyone's out there tiptoeing and virtue signaling when it comes to this shit. But when it comes to promoting and marketing, nah. Gloves off. Fuck that bitch. That's crazy. You recognize how insane this is?
Work in the slightest, people were very, very confused, but it seemed like Ryan and Hugh were kind of helping ice out Justin Baldoni. And then people went back and watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and they noticed a character who seems very, very similar to Justin Baldoni.
Nicepool!
And that would be Nicepool.
My goat! Yes! This is a great movie.
So, in the film, there's this character. He has a man bun.
Man bun!
He is this ultra-feminist ally, soft-spoken, talking about his faith and how much he loves women. And
he also, I think, even mentions in the movie that he has a podcast.
People are saying that Ryan Reynolds put that in the film to mock Justin Baldoni because they were filming around the same time that It Ends With Us was filming. And as the cherry on top, Nicepool gets killed.
And has a podcast.
And he gets killed by Ladypool.
Who is played by
by Blake Lively. You can
Interesting. Crazy how that happened.
literally see her blonde ponytail, and better yet, he gets killed in front of a flower shop. Remember Blake Lively?
No!
Where your
I love this so much. This is just so fucking funny. He died like a dog. A beautiful dog.
florals, everyone, because her character is a florist who works at this floral shop. All of the signs are there. So suddenly people are connecting the dots.
Okay, but there's a lot more. I hope that she mentions the rest of it because, okay, I'm going to try to find this right now because there are so many more clips of Nicepool. There are so many more clips of Nicepool. Let me see if I can find... Oof. Dude, it's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah, this is crazy. All right, so the more I learn about Nicepool, the more obvious it was to represent. All right, editor, put the blur filter on this for copyright bullshit.
Who are you? Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nicepool. Oh my goodness, wait till you see Ladypool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and can't even tell.
That's like a crazy thing to say, but it's obviously meant on purpose in order for you to recognize the fact that he's a male feminist, but at the same time, he's talking about a woman's body in a pretty crazy way. And also, because allegedly, based on Blake Lively's allegations, there was also that whole pregnancy drama.
I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay.
And then he says, you shouldn't say that?
I identify as a feminist.
And that's literally what his entire, like, Justin Baldoni's podcast is. And it gets crazier, by the way. All right?
She never said that.
No, but I bet she thought it.
You are so mean. My brain could taste your fingers, and they tasted like hate. And where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?
And the allegation that Blake Lively made was that Justin Baldoni did not have an intimacy coordinator on set. That was the allegation. And here he is saying that there's no intimacy coordinator. But it gets better!
Merc to Merc? Yeah, they're crazy. They will chop you up into 1,000 pieces and hide you all over the void. I'd be fighting alongside them, but my calling is to one day host a podcast that monetizes the women's movement.
Justin Baldoni literally has a podcast to monetize the women's movement. He literally has a male feminist podcast. Okay? I'm telling you, it's not a coincidence. I am telling you. All right?
If they could only process their childhood trauma, they'd go on one heck of a healing journey.
All right? And that's the shit that he talks about all the time. And here he gets killed.
Hey! Why are we stopping? It's because I'm paralyzed. We all have... Look at me, Nicepool.
And he gets killed literally right in front of a flower shop. Okay? Is that not insane? Is that not completely crazy? Now, don't tell me this is a coincidence. Kitty Sue Nicepool? Okay, dude, I think that's a little extreme. But, dude, I'm telling you, this is not a coincidence. It's incredibly funny shade throwing that I am here for.
And they're going, oh my God.
He died like a dog!
So they were literally making fun of him on screen. They were trying to push him out of his own production. They hated him. They're literally bullying him on screen. And that just shows the power of social media because they brought up all of these points. And then Justin and his team added that into a second lawsuit. Well, now actually we're on the third lawsuit.
Oh, let's go, dude.
But the second lawsuit from
baby.
Justin's team. And guys,
Oh
what
my
was
God.
happening on social media was seriously a machine that could not be stopped. Like, it was faster moving. It was more ferocious than what we saw this summer.
Yeah, because I'll be real here. Incredibly hot take. Blake Lively making false allegations allegedly about somebody is so much worse than all the other shit that she did. She actively tried to ruin this man's life. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like him. I don't like him either. But you don't make false allegations against people. Like, you are not only being a piece of shit, ruining someone else's life, but you are also completely making every other real victim scared to come out and not be believed when they do come out. You are hurting everyone. And I will monetize your downfall.
When Blake's reputation was first destroyed. And all of that is super interesting to me because this kind of social media momentum, this, internet sleuthing that is happening throughout the scandal is actually relatively new in the world of PR and entertainment strategy and marketing. So I wanted to hear somebody else's opinion about this. So I called a friend of mine, Jared Sopransky, who is a PR expert who works in entertainment.
Let's go.
And I wanted to hear his take. So listen to what he said about social media drastically changing the scope of his work.
In the past, where we saw the initial piece come out in the New York Times back in the day, that
Brett Cooper actually cooking on her new show, by the way.
just would have been it. And even like that's just, everyone's mother and everyone's auntie and everyone's cousin would have seen it, and that would have been it. Now you have social networks, just the public convening on a platform like X to do their own research and to draw their own conclusions. For myself and all of us in the industry, it's made things a little bit more difficult, but also easier.
Really?
Because it wasn't, you don't only have to get a hold of that one editor or that one journalist. And I think also what social media has done, it's kind of lifted the veil on the unhealthy dynamics.
Huge dub for social media. Big social media W. We take those. We love the veil being lifted. Let's not make believe it's sunshine and rainbows. They're all cringe. They're all liars. They're hypocrites. All of them. Deport every celebrity and I'll be happy. Or we'll put tariffs on all of California.
And the complicated dynamics of film production and TV production, because no matter what, you put a bunch of creatives in a room, someone's going to have a different opinion. And a lot of people stay in their lane, they know their role, and they'll go through with it. But the more powerful you get, the larger of a public figure you are, the more control you feel you have.
And as I'm sure...
I have no control, okay? Egg Keemstar, listen, bro, you make a good point. But at the same time, bro, no one's got control. People will always go out there and make cancellation posts on other people. It'll always happen. Slander will continue to exist. And there really isn't any repercussions seemingly happening. I would love if there were actual repercussions for spreading false allegations. I think that would be pretty great. Realistically, it's a pretty shitty situation out here. And that's just the way life is. We keep moving.
Or you can imagine, this kind of social media pressure can obviously help make somebody's job in PR a lot easier because the social media users are doing the legwork for you and they're moving the story forward and they're keeping you in the right direction. But for Blake's case, I mean, it's not...
Yeah, well, the social media shitstorm is good when it's on your side. It's just not good when it's against you. No, incredible insight.
Helping her at all. And so now her PR team is having to fight against literally millions and millions of people who are picking up on everything. I mean, you guys are literally incredible. Like, people on social media, you do not miss a single thing.
True.
It's like you...
It is insane. Like, there is an actual tyrannid hive mind sifting through every... You don't understand. When I got canceled, all right? The big one. When I got the big canceled, people coming out of the woodwork with ancient clips cut out of context in crazy ways. And they still couldn't get rid of me. God damn, I'm stronger now. You have made me strong. Thank you so much. Very nice.
You have millions of collective minds that remember everything, that have clipped everything, that are scouring photos and videos. And even the world's most powerful and largest PR team can't actually fight that. And that is what we're seeing.
In the new age of media, nothing gets buried. In the past, if a story came out and there was some sort of retraction or some sort of, edit, that would often go unnoticed. But now things will get brought up again. That's the main thing for people to know, especially just in the public eye. Everything is forever.
And so why...
Whatever cancels makes you stronger. Beetle, beetle, beetle. It happens, bro.
While all of that was happening on social media, Justin Baldoni's team was able to kind of sit back and relax because people were on their side, well, not actually relaxing, because they were pulling all of their facts together for this third lawsuit. And so they came out just last week with yet another bombshell suit, this time $400 million directly against Blake and her team. This is not against...
God damn, $400 million. You know how many condoms you could send to Gaza with that amount of money?
It's the New York Times. This is a totally different lawsuit. This one is directly against Blake Lively. And guys, this lawyer is incredible. Like, it is worth going and reading this lawsuit because the story that he paints, the way that he writes, it is gripping. He knew that the public was going to...
Holy shit, dude, we need Justin Baldoni to adapt this lawsuit into a movie at some point. That would be crazy.
See this? And he wrote it for us, which I very much appreciated. And so basically, TLDR, the internet was right, as the internet often is. It's crazy how that works, that all the clues people saw, all the things that were caught on camera. I don't think Blake can...
Dude, I'll be honest, I think these people really feel like they're untouchable. I think there's like such an unbelievable level of ego that goes to these like schmucks that they all feel so invincible. It's like, bro, all I have to do is make false allegations against a male feminist and it's over. And usually it is. But when it's not, it's very funny.
Considered the fact that a majority of this movie was shot in New York City, like on the streets of New York City. So they had people literally from like 2.5 to 3 years ago watching them film.
Dude!
They have random people filming interactions between Blake and Justin. All of that is online.
Oh my God, it's over. Oh, Lord.
And it refutes so many of her different claims. So all of that is in this lawsuit.
That's
the lawsuit
incredible.
covers the tensions over the creative direction over the film, how Blake Lively strong-armed her way in, basically elbowed her way into a producer role that Justin literally had to go to the union and say, hey, yeah, Blake really wants a producer credit. She's basically taking over the film, so we need to give her one. They reiterated yet again.
Wow, what a pushover. See, that's the thing. When you're too much of a pushover, and you give in every time, they will take over your life and destroy you. You gotta stand up for yourself. What is this petty shit? Bro, do not watch Justin Baldoni's male feminist podcasts for insight because it will end you in his position.
And that no, Justin Baldoni did not fat shame Blake Lively, but that yes, he had the back injury that we have been talking about.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Like, why are we even talking about fat shaming? Like, why is that relevant? Like, there are fat shaming allegations. What the fuck allegations? These are not allegations. She says he's mean. He says I'm not mean. Who cares? They're all mean. They're in Hollywood. Oh my God.
For basically 6 months at this point and wanted to make sure he could lift her. And in the lawsuit, they added that after he asked that very harmless question, we can all agree that that is a very harmless question,
yes,
that he got invited over to Blake and Ryan's home and got berated by Ryan Reynolds for having the gall to ask that question of his...
Oh, Canadian drama. It doesn't stop. Canadians are as ruthless as they are kind.
His wife, that was so offensive and so hurtful to her. But also, we know...
Wait, so Ryan Reynolds went out there fucking simping, bro.
Know that it wasn't hurtful because also in the lawsuit, they included text messages between Justin and Blake where they were literally talking about body image issues. Just listen to this. So, Justin, this is in 2023, he texts Blake and says, I want you to know that you will look amazing. Anything you are insecure about, we will talk through and get creative together and make sure that you are comfortable. I just don't want you to stress about your body. It is the last thing you need. As soon as I have a rough schedule that is even remotely accurate, I'll share it and I'll make sure that the team keeps this in mind as well. And then he puts a heart emoji.
A heart emoji? That's sexual harassment. He doesn't know that if you put heart emojis in your text, it's sexual harassment?
And the reason why she was allegedly so sensitive about her body was because she had just had her 4th baby, she was breastfeeding, she felt like she hadn't bounced back yet, and so Justin is being sensitive about this.
Gay. Sorry. What I mean is, that's nice.
It's in this text message. And Blake Lively responds and is grateful. She says, this is my job here, and I meet my responsibilities with extreme work ethic.
Why are they writing each other like these massively long messages?
Also, one thing that you'll see if you read this lawsuit is that Blake Lively has way too much time on her hands because her text messages are literally insane. She also...
Woman moment. Sorry, I'm never gonna have a male feminist podcast.
Also, at one point, compares herself to Khaleesi from Game of Thrones and says, I have dragons who will fight for me.
No! The worst sin of all. Cringe.
It compares herself to Khaleesi from...
I gotta read that message. That's not my job here, and I mean my responsibility to extreme work ethic. I look for solutions that exceed my high goals instead of lowering my goals. We all win when we're each firing at our highest capabilities, and you and I both are, and will continue to. I just need how much time to possibly can because I just had my fourth baby. I understand that you'll never personally know all the nuances and challenges unless you live the physical moment in time. I'm in this physical road ahead, so having your understanding and support to help me pull this off is critical and very appreciated. Not just my experience now, but also hearing from past experiences. Thank you. Oh my God.
See if you read this lawsuit is that Blake Lively has way too much time on her hands because her text messages are literally insane. She also at one point compares her—
Dude, you're telling me that she had— Wait. We gotta rewind a little bit. I'm sensing some retardation. I smell it in the air. She sued a guy for sexual harassment and fat shaming and body positivity shit. When she literally has sent that text message, she knows he has that screenshot, and she actually tried to slander him. Like, bro, this is incredible. Like, she's dumber than she is mean.
Herself to Khaleesi.
And these are the people that you got your normies in the world looking up to celebrity culture.
From Game of Thrones and says, I have dragons who will fight for me.
That's
basically
incredible.
talking about Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift and insinuating that Justin Baldoni should not fight her because she has more powerful people that will go against him.
You gotta sue me? I have dragons. All right, dude.
Obviously, now that we're seeing that she is suing him. Anyway, the texts were just insane and very egotistical, but to finish what I'm talking about here, she responds relatively kindly, and she's saying, we all win when we are firing at our highest capabilities, and you and I both are, and will continue to. I just need as much time as possible because I just had my fourth baby. I understand that you'll never personally know all the nuances of the challenges unless you lived this physical moment in time. I'm in with this physical road ahead.
That's a crazy fucking sentence.
So having your understanding and support to help me pull this off is critical and very, very appreciated. She appreciates all of his support. Not just in my experience now, but also healing from experiences past. So thank you. So actually, Justin Baldoni is being so kind and so wonderful that not only is he helping Blake Lively through this hard experience and her body image issues, but he's actually helping her heal, which is definitely not what we heard in her first complaint. Now,
what an unbelievable moron making this lawsuit when she knows he has these text messages. Like, how stupid do you need to be? You do realize I bet you any money Ryan Reynolds saw this text message after the court case and it was like, honey, you're fucking stupid.
Moving on from that little part of the story, I just wanted you guys to get finality of that since we've been talking about that literally since like August, I think. In the lawsuit, they also talk about how Blake made Justin and made his team hire additional producers that she would supervise to monitor the production because she didn't trust him.
Oh
so
my
she had
God.
to have personal—
Wait, so he has a project, she butts in and she takes over, she tells him she doesn't trust him. Nice.
Producers to supervise him. The director of the film, again, the producer of the film, who optioned the film 6 years ago. They also revealed in the lawsuit that it was her that refused the intimacy coordinator, not him. And
that's crazy. No shot.
That she actually took control and was the one instructing him on how to be sexual and how to be romantic in all of these intimate scenes, which, again, because people were watching the filming of this movie on the streets of New York, was caught on camera. We literally have her going up to him and saying, this is how you need to grab me, this is how you need to kiss me, and it was even brought up in press interviews.
This is insane. Like, I've never seen a more frivolous, bullying, obviously false bullshit lawsuit in my life. This is not going to court. This is just gonna get settled. And I am sad for the lack of content, but this is insane.
Here we go.
Just want to be clear that you should not be the intimacy coordinator. You should definitely hire intimacy coordinators, which we did have.
No, you didn't.
So she says in the interview that they did have. In reality, they didn't have. She sued him for not having, and then it turns out she's the reason why they didn't have. Lord, thank you for this chaos.
Didn't.
Thank you for celebrities ruining their own lives for me to make content.
She's literally nervously laughing, going, haha, you should definitely have one. Blake, you were the one who refused it.
That's
okay,
awesome.
Let her continue.
You were teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where have you seen
this?
this?
I actually just saw it too. It was on Instagram yesterday.
Now, the person speaking who is off screen is Colleen Hoover, the author of the book, and Blake Lively is trying to cover all of this up and go, oh no, where did that happen? No, I definitely didn't do that. And she's going, no, Blake, I saw that video on Instagram. That was so funny. You were being the intimacy coordinator.
Ryan, you're watching too many male feminist podcasts, Ryan. You gotta talk to your wife. You gotta tell her she can't be making false allegations about random people because she's upset at them.
And you can watch Blake's face going, oh shit, oh my god, people are going to know. And guess what? We have even more evidence than those two videos. There are texts covering this.
Oh my
In
god.
one exchange, Justin is talking to a production member on set, and he texts them a screenshot of a conversation that he had with Blake, where he says, hey Blake, just hired an intimacy coordinator who I love. I will set up a time for you to meet or FaceTime them for next week. And she says, I feel good. I can meet with them when we start. Thank you, though. And then he sends this exchange to the production
I sense bitch
member and said, just FYI, wanted to tell you about this. She seems like she doesn't want to meet the intimacy coordinator until we start, which may mess up the workflow, but I can still meet with her, of course. And then the female producer responds and says, that's fine if she doesn't want to meet her now. You'll just have to walk her through what you and blank, the intimacy coordinator, are thinking.
Nice.
But she never actually met or wanted to use the intimacy coordinator. She just kept pushing it off. Also, she never actually signed her employment agreement. She also kept pushing that off, probably because she wanted to strong-arm her way in and not just be an actress, but end up being the producer. Now, another thing that was included in this lawsuit that corroborates what people were saying on social media a few months ago was Ryan Reynolds' involvement, and the fact that during the writer's strike, when nobody was writing, Ryan actually stepped in without just knowing, without anybody knowing, and rewrote scenes and added scenes that they would later film. And Justin did not know.
He did not know that someone else was coming in and changing the scenes in his own movie? Dude, she actually just sued him and accidentally blew her own legs off. Like, this is insane. I have never seen someone jump on the grenade that she pulled the pin and threw the pin and held on to the grenade. Like, this is crazy. Like, bro, dude, they invented blonde jokes for this lady.
Until he saw a cut of the film. Also, at the end of production, Blake did not like Justin.
What do you do if Blake Lively throws a grenade at you? Well, easy, you just pull the pin and throw it back.
Baldoni's cut of the film, and his cut was far more serious, darker, focused a lot more on domestic violence. She didn't like that. Florals, fun, silly, girly, chick flick, promoting her hair care line, best friends with Taylor Swift, all of those vibes. She wanted that. So she hired her own post-production team, and she had them do their own edit of the film, and then they showed these two versions to different audiences. People far more preferred Justin Baldoni's version, but they ended up going with Blake's. And what is even crazier to me is that they would not even let Justin and his team, the original team, see the new version of the film, even if it was just...
They didn't let the guy that is running the film see the film. What the fuck is going on? How did she think she could win this? And you know what? The internet would have just forgotten if she wouldn't have made more false allegations against him. But because she had so much ego, she couldn't let it slide that people thought she was annoying. And now everyone thinks she's a bitch and an idiot, which is incredible. Dude, that's insane. Blake Lively says to Ryan Reynolds, what does IDK stand for? Ryan says, I don't know. And then Blake responds, OMG, nobody knows. Dude, this is crazy. She's like an actual proper moron.
To see what had been cut out or what had been changed. They were not allowed to look at the film that they had poured blood, sweat, and tears in for years, because she and Ryan Reynolds literally took over. Here is a text conversation about...
Dude, and everyone loves Ryan Reynolds. Like, I guess it goes to show people in Hollywood are slimy. You do not know. You don't know what these people are really like.
That, Justin Baldoni says to his editors, just curious if you guys have peeked at her cut and if anything has changed. And the editor says, I have just been told that we are not permitted to look.
The editors are not allowed to look at the new cut of the movie.
Look. And he says, haha, wow, when did that happen? Editor 1 says, as per Sony. So now Sony is involved. They're complicit because they are on the side of Blake and Ryan. So Editor 1 says, as per Sony.
By the way, do you know when Justin Baldoni allegedly sexually harassed Blake Lively, do you know why she never dialed 911? She couldn't find the 11 on her phone pad.
Editor 2 said, this evening through redacted. Justin says, wow, okay then. The editors and the director aren't even allowed to look at an actress's cut. Got it. Well, here we go. We will just keep taking the high road. Now, the other thing that we have confirmed in Justin's lawsuit is that actually he did not burst into her trailer while she was breastfeeding repeatedly, but that actually she was inviting him into her trailer.
What? Okay, allegedly he busted into her trailer, and now it turns out that I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out our lines. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm shocked.
While she was breastfeeding, here is a text conversation about that from June 3rd, 2023.
Ryan, I know you have like a bunch of kids and stuff, but like, do you really want her to like I don't know, man. What is going on?
She said, I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out our lines. And Justin Baldoni said, copy. Eating with crew and we'll head that way. She said, take your time. He said, I'm here. I'll meet you in hair and makeup. So Justin, he has all the evidence. He is refuting every single one of these claims. And more importantly, he and his team, as you can see, are being totally transparent. I mean, these are just, 5 or 6 examples of things that they've brought up and clear text message exchanges that refute everything that she put out to the press. They dropped everything, totally uncensored, totally unedited, and last week they actually announced that they're even creating an entire website.
Justin Baldoni promises to launch a website of correspondence with Blake Lively. Oh my God.
Where they will publish every single email and text exchange to prove that he is innocent, that none of this happened. I mean, that's literally...
Shame on the New York Times for publishing these false allegations without evidence. It's crazy. It's insane that people could get away with this stuff.
Unprecedented, and that is because they know the power of social media. They know the power of the public courtroom, because this is what is driving people in Justin Baldoni's favor, because they actually have truth, they actually have the evidence. And this is where I see the stark differences between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni and how they are handling all of this, because Blake is being so tactful and so specific. She's dropping edited texts and specific stories that might be a little bit true, but do lack all context.
And he's literally just posting the whole ass chat logs.
Yes, he came into my trailer while I was breastfeeding, but actually I invited him in because I wanted to work on lines, and we didn't have an intimacy coordinator, but actually it was because I never wanted to meet with one. She's also cozying up to journalists to get the story out.
Journalists, the fucking scourge of the planet. These bitches, they snivel around. I don't know what's worse, journalists or activists. Let me know in the comment section below.
That she wants. She is leaking these stories to people. She's getting them to ask these tailored questions, to omit things from text messages, and she believed that that would be enough to run Justin Baldoni into the ground. And unfortunately, that is a very widely used tactic, especially in these smear campaigns. But
it's a very widely used tactic literally everywhere on the internet. I mean, there are articles written about me that are just obviously false to anyone that knows the story at all. In fact, I think that the average article about me misrepresents me. The average one. That's the craziest thing. And like, it's insane. It's insane seeing this shit and seeing people get away with it. And you know what? Nothing is ever gonna happen. They say allegedly a few times, and now it's okay. It's okay that I called him allegedly a pedophile Nazi. All right, that's great because I said allegedly.
With this new age of social media and internet sleuths, that just does not work like it used to. And you see, Justin, on the other hand, is literally leaving it all out on the field. He is showing all of his cards. His team is going straight to the public. He is going on podcasts. He is talking to the media. They are literally publishing all of these exchanges online so that people can see the truth. He's literally saying, I have nothing to hide, just like Good Ranchers has nothing to hide.
All right, nice try. 2 ads in the episode. Yeah, all right.
This and celebrities that are obviously lying about this story. Now, I wanted to hear my friend Jared's take on this and what it means for each of these sides and what it means for their careers going forward. And I thought he had a really interesting take. Just listen.
Remove Blake.
All right, let's go.
From her husband and her best friend. I think her career's over. But
yikes. I mean, that's probably true. Who would want to work with her at this point? I would be shocked to find out that literally anyone would want to work with her. No one would want to work with her at this point. To find out that she sued him and flamed him online for nothing?
But we can't do that because she is married to Ryan Reynolds. She is best friends with Taylor Swift. She does have the most...
Dude, actual true nepotism, baby. Like, what are you gonna do? She's married to a famous guy and she's best friends with a famous lady. It's over. I'm just saying, Smooth Kratos over here makes a very good point.
Powerful people around her. Very powerful publicist as well. But it will change.
What a goddamn toxic environment. You have someone that's out here slandering people and potentially ruining their lives, and oh, but they're married to someone powerful and friends with someone powerful, so it'll be okay. Like, that's so fucked up. Where's the accountability?
The trajectory of her career, I think a lot of people will be hesitant to work with her. Not only from the shitstorm that came from it, but all the talk of her wanting to take creative control over a project that really wasn't hers to take.
They don't even care about the false allegations. They just care about the creative control.
Over. For Justin,
Yikes.
I think this just elevates him. I think a lot of...
Absolutely. Now people heard of him. People are talking about him. He came out winning on this side. More people will be listening to his Male Feminist podcast for sure.
People who may not have known him or his work before now do. He's not a character without flaws. So he's been very public about his flaws in the past. He has had his issues with addiction of many kinds. But I think his authenticity will lend itself to more people wanting to work with him.
Now, I also think that it's a fascinating strategy that over the last 6 months until that Christmas Eve lawsuit, that Justin basically took the high road. He stayed silent while he was being pushed around, literally being pushed out of his own production and into the basement with his family and friends. He literally held off his PR team, even though Blake Lively doesn't want you to believe that, and just let it happen, trusting that at some point the truth would come out and that would prevail. He probably believed, rightfully so, considering what we know about Blake Lively now, that she would not be able to be silent, that she and her ego would hate so much, that her reputation had been destroyed, that her actions had been exposed, that she would want to fight, that she would not be able to stand the fact.
I honestly see her continuing to go swinging, continuing to find another way to take another L. She seems like the type of vindictive person that would never stop, and while people hate her, she'll be like, all I need to do is come up with an even bigger, more elaborate lie.
That she had been run into the ground, and she would come back with some kind of fight, and then he would be ready to drop the hammer. He basically sat silently for the last, 5 or 6 months, honestly, for the last couple of years while he was working with her, let her wind herself up and then shoot herself in the foot because of her own ego, as Jarrod echoed in our interview.
For Justin, it's in his... If he really has all the receipts for this, it's in his best interest to just wait for the process to go through in terms of Blake.
Just follow the basic advice of his legal team at this point. The internet's on his side, people are on his side, people will still want to work with him, his career is fine. So at this point it just needs to kind of do shit. I wonder how much virtue signaling is going to come off of this, because this guy's probably also crazy in his own way. I would not be surprised if this guy just decided to use this as a springboard to virtue signal even more. All allegations are valid, even the fake ones, right? I could see him say something insane like that.
It just seems, because there's a lot, it just seems like they've really, it's kind of like Mean Girl-ish, the way that they've gone about this. There's a lot of arrogance involved.
Now to wrap...
Yeah, I gotta say, my mild-mannered tech tone over here has kind of been on point so far with basically everything you said.
Wrap all of this up. At this point, we really don't know where this case is going, obviously. We have all of these lawsuits, they're muddling through it. Justin is pushing for a public trial that would literally be televised in front of a jury, a la Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. That would be in California. But
Content. Think of the content. They'll be in court. They'll be flinging poo at each other.
Interestingly,
objection, hearsay.
Blake Lively specifically filed in New York City with a type of lawsuit that cannot be televised, because I think that she wanted to
Boo! She didn't want the Amber Heard treatment. What a snake. What a snake.
This up quietly. I think that she expected that he would go down without a fight, that the media would absolutely destroy him, that he would be irredeemed, that he would want to settle and make this all go away. But obviously
that didn't happen, and her life is cooked, and no one will ever respect her ever again. And I think that she's a vindictive, evil bitch, and probably a lot of people also think that.
That did not happen, and selfishly, I am really, really hoping that this is televised. I really hope it happens in California, because I think that we would all thoroughly enjoy that.
I would.
Right now, Blake's only rebuttal has been to once again talk to these same mainstream journalists, and
that's That's it. That's how you know you're fucking lying. That's how you know you're absolutely cooked. Well, you're not actually willing to say anything to the public at all. You're just spreading out your little fucking misinformation bullshits through journalists.
Say that Justin is now following the abuser handbook. Hollywood Reporter wrote,
oh my, I told you she would double down to the bigger lie. God, I'm so good at this. It's so easy. It's so easy. That's what ego does to a motherfucker. It just turns them around and inside out. It's like seeing Kamala laughing at the campaign after she lost. It's like, bro, god damn, another chapter in the abuser handbook. You realize this is why it's women like Blake Lively that contributes to people not taking women that make allegations seriously. It's like everyone wants women that make allegations to be taken seriously, but when you have people like this that follow this line of bullshit, you are hurting every other woman that actually really might have gone through something. That is crazy.
Wrote about this last week and said, Blake Lively on Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, another chapter in the abuser handbook. Okay.
What the fuck does that even mean? Like, it's like, I'm not calling him an abuser, technically. I'm just saying he's following the abuser's handbook. So it's technically not slander, but it definitely paints the picture that he's an abuser. It's like calling someone else an alleged Nazi pedophile. That's not going to make anyone more impressed with him.
What handbook? The handbook of evidence and honesty and a man trying to clear his name and
clearing your name against a woman's allegations, by the way, is classic abuser, okay?
Protect his family like you should be doing. You should be trying to clear your name instead of just dropping random lines to journalists. Like, get a grip.
Hey, Blake Lively, your kids will be the kids of a lady who falsely accused somebody. How's that gonna feel? When your kids are in high school and people are like, hey, aren't you the kids of the lady that falsely accused somebody? Damn, that's crazy.
Blake Lively, and also get to work, because if any of what he's saying is inaccurate, you should be working very hard to combat that, because right now, I mean, the evidence is pretty hard to fight. And I honestly, I think that it is going to be incredibly difficult for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds to redeem themselves, and I think that they know that. I mean, literally look at a recent photo of Ryan Reynolds. Here he is at the premiere of It Ends With Us with Blake Lively. They look like they won. She's shining. She's so happy. And here he is last week at another event. This man...
Woo!
They won. She's shining. She's so happy. And here he is last week.
Bro aged 5 years. That's crazy.
At another event. This man looks like he has seen better days. This man looks like he thinks he is about to lose his entire fortune because of his wife's antics and his wife's ego. So maybe
that's crazy. He's getting sued for $400 million, by the way. Holy shit.
Blake Lively.
Bro went from sexy Deadpool.
They look like they won. She's shining. She's so happy. And here he is last
to alcoholic Harry Potter. That is crazy.
Week at another event. This man looks like he has seen better days. This man looks like he thinks he is about to lose his entire fortune because of his wife's antics and his wife's ego. So maybe that should be a lesson to everyone. Be careful about who you marry. Now,
that's the lesson. Fuck. Yeah, true. Rein in your woman. God damn it. That sounded misogynistic as fuck. I will definitely not be cutting that out of the video, because then what are the people going to cancel me for?
Other than this just being incredibly juicy drama that I have wanted to talk about for 6 weeks, there are a few big takeaways that I think speak to bigger cultural issues. So first of all, this is just yet another...
So first of all, don't falsely accuse people of shit because you're a petty, egotistical bitch. The moral of the story is don't be a petty, egotistical bitch.
Another example of women weaponizing Me Too for their own gain. I mean, that really...
True. Nothing hurts women like women, am I right, guys?
Let's go. Is the handbook that we're seeing if we want to talk about handbooks, Blake Lively, and all this stuff.
That was, by the way, that was a joke. Obviously, there are a lot of abusive men out there. That is fucked up. But one tier on the ladder lower than that is making up false abuse allegations.
Is take credibility away from the women who have actually experienced
True.
harassment like this. And again, like I said at the beginning, unfortunately, this is kind of normal in Hollywood. It takes credibility away from those of us who were touched and talked to inappropriately by writers and producers.
Yeah, we don't want to be talking about people that got touched by people in Hollywood, all right? That's a whole ass other situation.
Children, you guys have heard that story. I talked about that on Jordan's podcast about a year ago. I've had experiences like that. Those of us who have been sexualized by weird entertainment creeps. She belittles all of that. She makes it into a mockery.
Damn.
She makes it into something that she can use for a PR win.
This is why we react to women covering this stuff, because women are the best at taking down other women. This is glorious. We love this. Women on woman violence is why you subscribe to the Nuxanor channel.
Also belittles the men and women who experienced far more than just uncomfortable situations at work. The men and women who were assaulted and raped and finally got the courage to speak up.
Though.
So shame on you, Blake Lively. I mean, shame on anybody who does that, because the only reason, in my opinion, that you brought that up is because you thought the feminists would just rally behind you.
Because you thought it was a killing blow. And that's why a lot of people do it, especially online, because you think it's a killing blow. How are you going to come back from that?
We were still in 2015 and we would, believe all women. And also, what I'm thinking here is that she brought this up because most likely Justin has a morality clause in his contract with Sony that gives him the ability to work on this project, or whether it would be in his option with Colin Hoover. So if she is able to expose him as being some kind of creep and get people to turn on him, and if he wasn't going to fight, if he was just going to roll over and let himself be destroyed, if he couldn't refute any of these claims, they probably would have been able to get him kicked off of this franchise. And right now, I believe that he owns the rights to the books later on in the series.
Oh my god, that's crazy if that's true. I doubt she planned it out that much. She doesn't strike me as such an incredible villain. I don't know. That sounds like more of a Ryan Reynolds type strategy. I wonder if he was along with it because he was happy with the idea of kicking him off the franchise.
So he could make those movies. They could get him kicked off of his own franchise, and she and Ryan Reynolds could completely take control.
Yeah, that does kind of sound... that I could see it, actually. Damn, I could see that being a Ryan strategy. That's why she was the face of the franchise the entire time, and they pushed him out of the photos and stuff, because then they could kind of just usurp the franchise. That's crazy. Wild conspiracy. Damn, that's like some insane bully tactics. Like false allegations and pushing someone out of their own project. Holy shit. And these are the people that are gonna go up on a stage and say, Trump is a fascist? Alright, bro.
Other than just the PR win is probably why she chose this tactic. But it was obviously very misguided, because this man is not going down without a fight. He is fighting for his reputation. He is fighting for his family. He's
fighting for his life. When someone makes false allegations like you about that and you fight it, you're fighting for your actual life.
Also fighting for his work. And
he's fighting for his life. It's crazy, because once you get that name on you, then it's not rubbing off. It's over. Your life is over. Your children's lives are over. Like, it is an unbelievable, awful stain. Because if it's true, it's an unbelievable, awful thing.
This franchise that he has poured, again, blood, sweat, and tears, and millions of dollars into. And that really is what all of this is about. And we actually, interestingly, have seen this all before with Ryan Reynolds. Now,
I told you it sounded like a Ryan strategy.
If you guys remember, there was an original Deadpool director. He actually walked away from the franchise, walked away from the entire project, because he could not stomach working for Ryan Reynolds, who wanted to control the entire production.
Wow! A Nux pre-watched reality situation going crazy. Is that just another classic Nuxanor pre-watch?
Listen to this. This is from Men's Health back in 2019. Deadpool director Tim Miller says that he left the franchise because of Ryan Reynolds.
Wow,
quote,
dude.
It became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control. Quote, it became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise. You can work that way as a director quite successfully, but I can't. I don't mind having a debate, but if I can't win, I don't want to play. And I don't think you can negotiate every creative decision. There's too many to make. So Ryan's the face of the franchise. He was the most important component of that by far. So if he decides he wants to control it, then he's going to control it. And I think that last line is the most important.
Wow. He's the face of the franchise, so therefore ultimately he controls it. And what did they do? They pushed Justin Baldoni out of the spotlight, and they made Blake Lively the face of the franchise. Fuck. It's like, that is the abuser's playbook. Holy crap. The same strategy.
If he decides he's going to control it, then he's going to control it. Because of his fame, because of his money, because of his power.
And because he's the face of the franchise. And what did they do here? They literally made Blake the face of the franchise.
I think that is exactly what happened here. Blake Lively stepped in, didn't like what Justin was doing with the film. She wanted to be in control. She wanted to drive this. She wanted to do her florals and make her chick flick.
Whoa,
so she and Ryan Reynolds
dude.
elbowed their way in, took over the entire production, rewrote scenes, re-edited the film, changed the entire marketing strategy, and are now hoping to kick Justin Baldoni off of his own thing. But
that's crazy.
Unfortunately,
that's just a theory, a conspiracy theory.
For Blake Lively, it is not the Me Too era anymore. It is not 2015, 2014 anymore. People have woken up to the manipulation and the weaponization of Me Too. We think far more critically about these allegations these days. We take them a lot more seriously.
Which I think is important. It's so important to take this shit seriously because they are serious. They are serious if they're real, and they're serious if they're not real.
On the women's side than we did 10 years ago, especially after the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and we do that because of people like you. And it's unfortunate that we have to do that, that we have to.
Yeah, it would be really nice if every allegation was true, and therefore every time someone would make an allegation, you knew the allegation was true, and then you put the fucking creep in jail. That would be fantastic. But unfortunately, we live in a world where not every allegation is true. Literally. And people use allegations as weapons to get what they want in different areas, or for petty purposes, or for ego purposes. Unfortunately, not all of them. I think there is a large percent of allegations that are real, but the thing is, since there are so many fake ones muddying all that shit, how can you take any of it seriously without real-ass evidence?
Question people and question these allegations, but I am so glad that people's BS radar and media literacy has grown so much.
Huge dub. The less we trust the media, the less we just trust people without evidence. God, it's making the world a better place. And that's why we need Cryo Trump every 4 years. He'll come out of cryostasis. He'll simply walk out and say, that's fake news. That's all a lie. And the Orange Man reigns supreme once again.
In the last 10 years. I think that that is a huge testament to our growth as a society and us breaking free of this insane mob groupthink that I think literally poisoned us as a culture for so many years. And a lot of that is thanks to social media. And that's why I have such a love-hate relationship with social media, because it is a time suck. I think that it muddles our brains. It has made our attention span so slow.
It is such an... my take on social media is very weird. I am so happy that social media exists, because I think it's very helpful in order to slice through the bullshit of the universe. But while I'm happy it exists, I don't think anyone should be on social media. I'm happy social media is real, and it's cutting through the bullshit, but no one should be on social media. It's ruining your brain. It's eating out your vagina.
Oh, but it also has given us...
I just really like saying the word vagina with the Trump accent. I'm so sorry. It didn't even fit in the sentence, but it was like I was in Trump mode, and it just happened. It literally just happened. I was possessed. And it just, bam, and it just, anyway.
Power. It has also made access to information so much faster and so much more honest, which I really think is the last big point here that I want to make. This is why this story matters on a more global scale, because the way that we digest information and digest scandals just like this has completely changed. It is no longer 100%.
It's no longer you hear an allegation, you believe it, you crucify the guy. No more of that shit. Thank you.
Driven by a couple mainstream media headlines. That is what Jared was talking about when he said that his industry has been completely turned upside down because of social media. You're not just going to a couple of journalists and hoping that the New York Times or the Washington Post, picks up your story and drives the narrative. But now you have to win over social media. You have to hope that they will be in your favor, and you can't really control it. It is a monster in and of itself. It is millions and millions of social media.
And see, on the one hand, it could destroy someone because it could run with false allegations, but on the other hand, it could really save someone because it can get to the truth of a situation, and where people will actually understand a more nuanced reality instead of just reading a random headline in the New York Times and following that. So I think I am with you. I am so with you.
Users who remember everything. And
dude, Ryan Reynolds took such a huge L here. I never knew anything about Blake Lively. I didn't give a shit about her. But dude,
save everything and have time on their hands to do sleuthing that the mainstream media will not do. Who are tired of the lies and the manipulation.
I mean, that's because the mainstream media doesn't care about the truth. They care about the narrative. That's just the honest answer. Like, there will always be a propaganda machine because they just care about the narrative more than the honest truth.
That they have been fed for years, whether it be in politics.
Trump is Hitler. They're putting them in camps. All the Jews in concentration camps. He might support Israel, but that doesn't mean he doesn't secretly hate Jews. I mean, you saw what Elon Musk did. He did a lot of emoting at the inauguration. It was crazy.
Or pop culture or other stories like this. I mean, this literally ties into what Elon was saying about us being the media now. Us, yes, as in podcasters and creators, but more importantly, you guys, as in the active...
I don't know about more importantly, but like also importantly, all right? Don't get a big head. Anyone in my audience, she's not talking about you. You guys are memers, okay? All right, anyone in my... She is not referring to you guys.
The viewers and the active participants in culture and pop culture who literally consume everything and do your due diligence to literally pick everything apart in search of truth. As Elon...
Yeah, it's crazy. It's the masses. The masses are important because you can get so much more of like a nuanced perspective. Like otherwise you just see CNN, you believe what they say, you move on with your life.
Has been encouraging all of us to do. Just listen.
Citizen journalism is the future, you know? And that's where you get to hear from actual experts in the field, people who are experts in any given industry. That transparency is how you know that it's true and it's real and it's honest.
And through platforms like X and like TikTok.
But also, you have citizen journalism is good, but the problem with citizen journalism is it's so easy to just lie. Like, there's no accountability for, like, a Twitter account with 4 followers. Like, no one gives a flying fuck about them. So, a Twitter account with 4 followers comes out and says some shit, like, they're just gonna get away with it because literally no one cares. That realistically is an issue. But ultimately, I do hope we can get to a point where we do actually find some sort of solution. It's not like there's accountability for the mainstream media either. Sorry, the M word.
Which in my opinion have been the 2 most important social media sites for getting this information about this specific story out there. You now have a way to post this information, to share your stories, to share your firsthand accounts or the videos that you took or the information that you found online. You have a way to post that, to amplify that, to share that on a world stage in a way that can literally change the course of someone's life, that can change the course of a PR smear campaign in ways that literally sway presidential elections. As
like we just saw. All those Hollywood elite fucking self-sucking assholes go onto stage, support Kamala, and I hate to say it, but she didn't win. She's just not very likable or very smart, I have to say. I have to say she's not likable or smart. What a complete failure.
As we saw in 2024 in ways that can change public perceptions or change the course of someone's life who is being targeted and harassed by a bitter foe, which in my opinion is what is happening to Justin Baldoni here. I mean, first it was Johnny Depp. We saw what social media did for him. Now we have 2.0. And I have one last little thing to add here because it felt very serendipitous, but over the weekend as I was traveling, I was listening to an old John Mayer song. I was very in my feelings. I was listening to some emo music. And you guys probably know it, this song, Waiting on the World to Change, came up. And for the first time, I think I actually heard his lyrics and they really stuck out to me. You should go listen to the song now after watching this episode. But like halfway through the song, he sings, "When they own the television, what you get is what you get. Because when they own the information, they can bend it all they want," which is why he's waiting on the world to change, because he believes that that is not fair. And guess what? In my opinion, I mean, after going through the story, after everything that we saw with Trump, after everything that we saw with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, it has changed. It has become nearly impossible for one narrative to reign supreme through mainstream and legacy media alone.
This is what they call freedom of speech.
Corporations no longer own our voices. They no longer own truth or our information or
shout out to the Daily Wire.
Our evidence. And while yes, obviously, this makes the world a little more chaotic, this makes...
Yes! Infinite content. Subscribe for more chaos.
Stories, more noise.
I will tariff everyone and undo the tariff and redo the tariff back and forth every day just for Nuxanor content. I love him. He's blue and he's retarded. He jumps around on the screen like a little animated boy. We love him so much. It's fun.
And more complicated, this needed to happen. This break, this disruption, we have been waiting on this for a long time, and every day it is protecting truth and changing lives.
That's it, baby. And it is. It realistically is. Lives are being changed by the truth coming out there. It's crazy. It's crazy. Subscribe for more chaos. We will put more tariffs on Canada. Definitely. That was a joke. That was a joke. We're not doing any of that. We are tariff-free since '93. That's what I always say. Every time I walk in or I see tariffs, I'm like, what are the tariffs here for? I don't even know. It's not a bargaining ploy. It's because the American people... Subscribe! I have to fucking kill the orange spirit that entered inside me. I start talking like Trump on like literally in normal conversations. It is not sexy according to other sources. Don't ask about my private life. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.